he or she who describes the problem best is assumed to have the solution. Remember that. If you skip to the solution before describing the problem, even though a patient has a problem, it's going to be a lighter bag on their back. You have to make the bag heavy on the back. You have to make them feel like, gosh, this is the pain point. And this is what in marketing they call this turning the knife, right? You got to turn the knife a little bit, which means that you got to make them, and this is not a kind of barbaric way of doing it. It's human psychology to understand that, hey, you know what? I need to feel somewhat of the pain of my situation for me to get motivated to fix it. All right. So you're not doing anything bad. You're not having them feel bad about themselves or dejecting them morally or knocking their self-esteem. You're not doing those things. If they have improper digestion, if they are self-conscious of meetings and, kissing their spouse or going on dates or whatever that is, you're not trying to deject their self-esteem. You're just trying to highlight, hey, look, I know it's really frustrating through empathy that this is a tough place to be in life, but it doesn't have to be that way because we can address this. We can make this much better. So when you give people and you define their problem set, when you define the problem set, never ever leave them hanging. Because some of y'all like define the problem and you're like, I defined the problem, but they didn't end up making the decision to get the treatment done because you never presented the solution, right? So if you're defining the problem well enough, which means that you're speaking in the frustration that the patient has in their mind. People live in their frustrations, not their fulfillments. So you're speaking to them with that frustration. They want to feel understood. Hook point, you define the problem by this free stuff. You're speaking in the frame, in the vernacular, in the words, in the sentiment that they have internally. Now they're like, gosh, Dr. Morningstar, she understands me. Dude, she gets me. It's way more important for them to feel that she gets me versus they understand you. What do we try to do as clinicians all the time? We try to make, there's this need of, they got to understand what I'm saying. Throw that out. Replace that with them having the need of them understanding what you're saying. Replace that with, God, I need to make them feel understood. That's key. If they feel understood, now they are open to suggestion. So once they feel understood, after you define the problem, you've moved the free line, you now present the solution. Here's what we have. Here's what we know. If you leave a patient after you've twisted the knife a little bit and you define the problem, you don't present the solution, that's cruel. Because that's not cool. Because people are wanting to know, what's next? What can I do? As soon as they get to that point in their mind, like, what's next? You know that's a good place because that's where you can have the greatest impact on them, right? So now you've done that. You get them in for this. We're talking about overdentures today. What's the hook point? This is what it is. And you got to come up with some sort of an offer to have them come into your office, a free consult that includes X, Y, and Z. And by the way, those of you that are thinking, hey, they don't want the free consult because I've done that with new patient exams and composites. Guess what? New patient exams and composites, that's not a pain point. How many people are rushing in your office to get a composite done? Almost no one. How many people are rushing in your office to get a cracked tooth fixed? Way more. How many people are rushing in to get their endo addressed? Way more. So they're not going to rush in for free exams and x-rays and family dentistry. They are going to rush in if they see that there is a unique problem, a unique solution to a problem they're having, right? Misaligned teeth, occlusion issues, sleep issues, cosmetic concerns, lack of teeth. Those are real problems. So some of you are not going after real problems because you're stuck in the red ocean of bread and butter dentistry. I want you to pivot and be like, let's go after some real problems because that's going to be easier for you. It's going to be easier for you. The bigger the problem, the greater the paycheck, right? The bigger the problem, the greater the paycheck. If you're not solving big problems, then you're getting paid in accordance to the problems you're solving, right? So help your patients. You all know how to do this. You all do this. You just don't give yourself enough credit. You don't give yourself enough credit.